Everyone, thanks for joining our webinar today. So we have hopefully got quite a lot of people on today. So we are going to be going through the latest appointment booking feature via Hero Health today. So we will be looking at a demo of how the appointment booking is going to work. So it'll be myself leading the session, and I've also got my colleague Michelle here. So just to introduce myself, my name's Holly. I'm the lead trainer for Silicon Practice. And then Michelle will also be here to answer any questions if you want to introduce yourself, Michelle.
Yes, hello, hi, I'm Michelle Goldswain. So I'm the lead account management, lead even at Silicon Practice.
Thank you. So we will be having some Q&A time at the end. So feel free to pop any questions in the team or the meeting chat as we go along. Mish will be there to answer any questions related to sales and pricing and that sort of thing, and I'll be able to answer any other questions that come in, or we'll be able to field any questions that we're not able to answer today and get back to you with the appropriate answers. If anyone does have any unrelated questions or anything that they think of after the session today, then we'll send you the details of who to get in touch with. So we've got an inquiries email. And we will also be recording the webinar today, and we'll share a copy of the recording to all of our attendees afterwards. So if you're not able to stay for the full session, please don't worry, because we'll send it out and then you won't miss anything. So just a brief run through of what we're going to be looking at today in the webinar. So we're going to have a brief intro to Hero Health, who we're partnering with to do the appointment booking feature on the dashboard. And within that, we'll be looking at the online appointment management platform from Hero Health. We're going to have a demo of how the appointment booking looks in the Footfall dashboard for both users and patients. And then we'll do a wrap up and a QA at the end. So first of all, what is Hero Health? So we've partnered with Hero Health, which is a communication platform for NHS GP practices that allows you to set up and manage online appointment booking. And it connects into both EMIS and TPP System 1 with real-time integration. So as part of the sign-up process with the appointment booking feature, you will receive instructions from Hero Health on how to configure appointments for both EMIS and System 1. And you'll have access to a Hero Health admin platform, and you'll get login details from them as well. This is just a really brief example of what the platform looks like. So from here, you'll be able to set up things like appointment slot types, branch locations, and practitioners. So most of this is managed through Hero Health themselves. And as I said, you will receive information from them specifically with more details about how this will work. Moving over to the dashboard side of things, we will have a look at the dashboard from our side. So I'm just going to pop over to our demo screen briefly. So I'm on the Foundation site here. Can everybody see? Has it swapped over my screen there?
Yes.
If not, let me know. It has, did you say? Sorry.
See it, yes.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
So as most of you will know, this is our sort of Foundation template. So this is just a very basic example of what the patient sees. This side of it is actually pretty much the same as currently, if not exactly the same. So the patient will be able to still submit all of the forms that you currently have on your website as normal. So for example, if we were to do a request an urgent appointment online form, the front end for the patient is exactly the same. All the questions are the same. They're still required to fill out all of their details. And when they submit this form, they'll still see the acknowledgement message, and they'll still get that email from the dashboard with the confirmation message as well. So all of that part of it is exactly the same. Where it's different is when your staff log into your dashboard, which you can hopefully see here. So I've submitted a request previously. So if you can let me know if you can see that, okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. So this, you can see the request in the dashboard itself is exactly the same. So the same layout, same options. You've still got all the patient details, the email, so you can still reply to the patient via email if you need. You'll still have all of the integration available. The main difference will be here. There'll be a book appointment button. So once we have enabled the appointment feature in the dashboard, we'll let you know once it's been set up. So once you've gone through all of the configuration with Hero Health, they've connected it to your clinical system, we'll then sort out all the rest in the background. We'll let you know once it's been enabled, and patients will be able to submit requests, no difference for them, and you will be able to log into your dashboard. you'll see the book appointment option here. So if you would like to see, this little box will pop up when you click this, and it will just have a little disclaimer message for staff. So it is worth bearing in mind that the link that you send to patients will take them to another website to book the appointment. So if you do feel that the patient needs an urgent appointment on the same day, we would recommend that you book them in directly via the clinical system instead of using this tool. And the staff or the patient will need an NHS number to use this as well. So I'm just going to briefly pop one in here because we're just using a dummy patient at the moment. So it's not actually connected live to a clinical system. So I'm going to manually put an NHS number in. But when you're using this live, verified patients will have their NHS number already visible, and you can just use the book appointment option straight away. So you won't have to do what I've just done there. So we'll click book appointment, proceed to click next after the disclaimer. There'll be a brief pause while it just confirms the patient's details. We'll just retrieve the name and the NHS number like this here. And then we'll proceed to click next. So this is where you can see the appointment selections that you've set up in the Hero Health admin platform. So just as I was explaining earlier, you'll be able to set up appointment types, appointment locations, and practitioners. So everything that you set up in the Hero Health platform will be fed automatically through to the dashboard here. So you'll be able to select any one of these options, and then you proceed through, and then it will show the relevant location. You select the one you want. If there's multiple, you can choose from them. And again, practitioner, if there's multiple, you can choose from the practitioners as well. You can go back and edit any of these options if you need to, so you can change them before you proceed. And then when you get to this part here, this is just confirming the selections that you've made for the patient before you send the link. So you've got the type of appointment, the location, the practitioner. If you need to, you can go back and edit these. If you are happy, you can then click send link and refresh episode, and that will send the reply link to the patient. So it's really important to mention that once this gets sent, it can't be undone. So the patient will receive an active booking link at that point, and it can't be retrieved back from the dashboard. So you just want to be sure that you are happy before you send this. If I select send link and refresh episode, in terms of the dashboard, that's now just going to show the audit trail with the reply that the patient has received. So that's just come into my email now. The patient will get that link. So if I just grab that and drag it over to my screen quickly so you can all see. So this part of it is exactly the same as currently. So the patient will still need to put in their date of birth that matches the form they've submitted. And this is just what they're reading from the dashboard at this point. So they haven't yet gone into the Hero Health interface. So this is the message that they get. They can then follow this link in their browser. And at this point, it will take them off to the Hero Health booking interface. So we'll go through here. And this is the page that will be integrated into your clinical system. So it will show real-time appointment availability. The patient will need to just confirm their date of birth here as well. So once they've done that and they proceed, this is the page that they will be presented with. So as you can see, it's NHS branded. It's connected into your system so that patients will see real-time availability. So you've got the confirmation of the appointment type and the location, the next available appointment that's showing for the patient to select. And then they can also look at future dates with different time slots that are available as well. We select this option here and then click continue. Oh, let's try that again. Might have to pick a different one. Have to keep trying until it lets us go through. Here we go. So once the patient's selected a slot, it just takes them here so that they can confirm it. So it does just remind them that they have 15 minutes to book before the time slot is freed up for someone else. So if they need to, they can go back and choose a different time slot, or if they're happy, they can confirm and book the appointment. At that point, they'll get a confirmation message on the Hero Health booking page. And they will also receive an email from Hero Health, which is separate from our dashboard. the booking will be automatically written into the practice's EMIS or TPP system. So at that point, it's kind of gone through the journey of the dashboard, the patient's received the link, and it's then managed by Hero Health. But you will have an audit on the dashboard of the link that the patient was sent and when they've opened that link. So most of the time, once you've done this part of it, this can be closed in the dashboard as normal. You may want to add a note on it just to say appointment offered via Hero Health, or you may want to put it in parked or waiting if you're wanting to follow up on it again later. Otherwise, you can just resolve this as normal and then it goes off of the dashboard. We do also have an example of what the confirmation message looks like from Hero Health. So this is just an example, but this is essentially what the patient will see from them. So they've got confirmation of the appointment details, and then that's basically it. So they'll have their appointment. If there's any issues, they can click the link to change or cancel it, or they can contact the practice directly. And that concludes the demo of the appointment booking feature. So we'll open up the floor for any questions if anybody has any. Feel free to let us know. Just see if we have any questions coming into our chat so far. So we've had, how do you stop the patient booking the wrong type of appointment from Emily? So the practice staff will be able to set up the selections that are available on the dashboard through the Hero Health admin platform, and the staff member themselves will triage the request that comes in and they'll offer the specific slot type. So the patient isn't choosing it, the staff member is telling them which appointments they can have, and then that will send them the link to the availability for that specific type, location and practitioner. So they're not just able to select a random person, time, date, place. Yeah, it's basically you decide and then the patient will just be able to select which slot relevant to what you've chosen for them. And we've had a question from Brian. Can the practice edit the message sent with the appointment link? At the moment, you can't edit it directly, but we can edit that. So if there's a preference that you'd like the message to say, feel free to let us know and we can sort that out for you. And we have had a question from Jill. So you do refer to urgent appointments, but we understand this is for non-urgent requests. Yeah. So on our front-end demo, the form is called request an urgent appointment. So not many practices actually have that as a form on their site. They'll usually just have request a routine appointment. But another question that we've had is, what is the benefit for the patient? It's basically just a way for them to book appointments through the website on top of everything else that they're able to do. So they're already used to communicating with practices online. So this is just one other thing that they're able to do on the same platform. And it means that they don't have to contact the practice separately by phone. So even though they can send reviews and questions and other things, the only thing that they've not yet been able to do through the Footfall platform or foundation is book appointments. So this means that they can now do that. So that's the main benefit for practices and patients. So Olivia, you think you saw that Hero Health runs through Footfall on the demo. Is that required? Yeah, so you will basically have to have a login to Hero Health. They'll provide all the details once you've signed up for the appointment booking feature. And they'll give you access to your admin platform and a login, and they'll send you all the information you need to connect it up to your clinical system. So that'll be for both EMIS and System 1. And they will then be able to help you with that so that you can get it up and running. And once we've connected it to the dashboard, all of the settings in the Hero Health admin platform will feed through to the dashboard automatically. So you have sort of two systems, Hero Health being one, and then the dashboard, you're still using that as normal. So you're not really adding anything to that per se, but you've just got the Hero Health platform to help you manage your appointment offerings. And that's run through Hero Health. Hopefully that answers that question. Had a question from Louise. Do you get the book appointment button for all types of Footfall forms? Yeah, in theory, so you can have it available on all requests. And then if there's any instance where you'd like to offer the patient an appointment, you can, but it's totally optional. So it's down to the staff member on the dashboard themselves deciding to use that option. So it won't just be an automatic thing. They still have to select it and offer that to the patient from the staff side of things. Tove, we've had a question from you, or a comment rather. So first impression, it's more work than what we do now when booking patients from the dashboard. It can be depending on the sort of current workflow that you have. So what we're aiming is to just offer this so that practices that want to have that integration with appointments into the dashboard is there. So it may be more work depending on what you're currently doing, but for most practices, we're hoping that it will help patients to feel more capable of booking appointments online. So that will then prevent patients from phoning the practice or, coming in for appointments for things. Even when they're using the website for everything else, that's still the sort of sticking point at the moment, is that they can't book those appointments. So, it might just be a bit of trial and error at first, but we're hoping that it will then improve the usage of the website overall and helping patients to fulfill their whole online journey for everything that the practice offers. Ryan, you've asked who pays for the SMS messages the link is sent in, and can it be sent directly to the NHS app? Great question. I believe that the practice will be paying for the SMS messaging within the dashboard, the same that you normally do. So if you've already signed up for SMS messaging, it will just be included as part of that, because you're essentially sending the link as a reply. So that part doesn't change. So you won't be paying any extra if you're already paying for SMS messaging, basically, because it's just part of that in the dashboard already. And in terms of whether it can be sent directly to the NHS app, I'm not 100% sure on that, so I can find out, but I do know that the NHS login is enabled on the forms in the website, so patients can pre-populate the forms there. But whether or not they can actually be sent directly through the NHS app, I will find out and let you know. And Kerry, you've asked how long will it take to set up the process? Not long at all. So basically, once you've signed up, we'll get the information we need from Hero Health. Once you have gone through the process with them on setting up the clinical system, you've got your admin platform, we then just add in all the details on our end. So it's quite a quick process. I don't know at the moment exactly how long it will take, but I wouldn't imagine it will take more than sort of a couple of days, I would imagine. I don't know if, like, Michelle or Sophia, you've got any input on that, a bit more detail on that at all?
We'll probably have more of an idea. We're actually going to be trialing setting some up soon, so we'll be able to provide more information on that once we've got it as well. So hopefully we'll know. But at this stage, as Holly said, I think it and it won't be you that will be doing all of that work over the couple of days, if that makes sense. That will be us in the background getting it all sorted out for you as well. So yeah, it was but we'll be able to give you more information on that once we know.
Thank you. Lauren, did you put your hand up there for a second? I don't know if you had anything to add there.
No, sorry, that was just me being fat fingered. Okay. Sorry.
No problem, thank you. Okay, so we have a question from Tom. How far in advance can patients book? It depends on what you offer through the Hero Health platform. So because we're trialing it at the moment, we don't know exactly how far in advance. We don't yet know what the capabilities are that practices are inputting into the Hero Health platform in terms of how far in advance they can create appointments. But from my knowledge, there isn't a limit. You can, whatever appointments you create in your diary in the Hero Health platform, it will offer all the way up until you tell it, basically. But once we have more details on that, we will include that in our information. So we'll let everybody know. Sort of as we test it more, we'll let people know. And I think the other question that we've just come in here from Rachel, is the SMS messaging included through the dashboard, or do you still need a third-party supplier? We do offer SMS messaging through the dashboard. So if you've not got it yet, it's something that you will need to sign up for additionally with the dashboard. But once it's set up, it's provided as part of the dashboard itself. So it depends kind of which one you prefer to use, whether you want SMS enabled through the dashboard, because really what it does in the dashboard is it just allows you the option to send the reply link as a message and an email, or one of the two. So it's not like SMS in the sense that you can generate messages to send as a text like some other services do. So if you're talking about just the dashboard replies, that's included in the dashboard. But other SMS services that do bulk messaging, that's a separate thing that we don't offer. So then in those cases, it may be a third party that you prefer to use. That is a good question. I think you guys can decide how close the patient. So we've had a question come in, sorry, from Brian. Can a patient cancel or change their appointment very close to the appointment time? The answer to that is you can set that in the Hero Health admin platform. So you can decide on your parameters for patient cancellations and how soon before the appointment they're allowed to do it. Just check to make sure we've answered all the questions so far. And Louise, you've just asked a question. If you don't have SMS on the dashboard, can the booking link be sent by email? Yeah, so that's the default. It will basically just go exactly the same way that a reply does on the dashboard now. All it's doing is including that link to the Hero Health interface. So it's generating that when you're setting up, when you're booking the appointment, it's generating that link uniquely every time. When you send it to the patient, they've got that unique kind of one-time link to use. But all that's doing is sending it through the dashboard reply at that point. So yeah, it will be email by default. So we haven't had any more questions come in. So I'll just wait and see if anyone does have any other questions off the back of what we've just covered, or if anyone's got anything else they want to add in. Don't think we have anything so far. So you can see here we have got our contact information. So feel free to contact sales@siliconpractice.co.uk if you do have any inquiries, you want a sort of more in-depth look at the appointment booking, or you've got questions about sort of pricing and signing up to it. Feel free to get in touch with us there. Or if you have any other sort of general questions, you can also get in touch with us at support@siliconpractice.co.uk, which is our normal support contact email. Here we go. We've got a couple of other questions. Thank you, Tove. That's a great comment. So excellent session as always. Thank you. Appreciate that. And does the system, so Brian, does the system check to see if there are actually appointments available for the clinic chosen? So yes, the Hero Health platform links into your clinical system. So it will show appointments that you have. So you basically create appointments in the Hero Health platform after it's been integrated. And it will show, so you can decide which appointments you're offering through the platform itself, but it will only show appointments that are related, that are linked into your clinical system. So you can decide the type of appointment, say, you know, routine, blood test, nurse appointment, that sort of thing, with the locations and the practitioners. So patients are only able to book what you're offering them through the Hero Health platform itself. And you can kind of filter that based on what you'd like to offer them. But yes, it does check to see the actual appointments in real time that you've offered. And Rachel, you've asked, do the requests submitted appear in the dashboard in time, or is there any RAG rating? Not necessarily. So they still appear the way they do now. At the moment, I believe it's the oldest first, so that the oldest thing on the dashboard will be at the top of the list because that's the thing that's been sitting there the longest. It's technically more of a priority. It's something that we're looking into. So we're going to be potentially having filters for things like dates on the dashboard, but at the moment it is just in order of the oldest first. So you can use the filters on the dashboard to help if you want to look at specific request types, or you can filter by patient details if you're looking for a specific patient request that's come in. Mish, we might have a question for you here. Can you give a basic costing monthly / per patient / per SMS if not already signed up?
Okay, so the costing for this particular product is £35 a month, and it's 2p per booking link created. So it's not done on a sort of per patient cost, if that makes sense. But with regards to the SMS, as Holly said, that would be done with your own supplier SMS costs and things like that. But the costs for the actual product itself is, as I said, 35 a month, and then 2p per link. I hope that answers your question. Okay.
Thank you. And Jill, you've asked, would there be any training, as it's pretty basic, may not be needed? No, so we're not at the moment not planning on offering specific training for this, because like you said, it is pretty basic, but we have got a video and a guide that we'll be sending out to practices that sign up, so you can share that with your staff. And then, you know, we're always on hand if you've got questions. It might be something that we offer if a lot of people have questions on it, but at the moment it's not something we're intending to, so we'll see how that goes, I think. Okay, so one other question from Kerry. The form that the patient completes on footfall, does it save to the patient record? Not necessarily, unless you still do that through the integration. So this doesn't at the moment have any other involvement in other parts of the dashboard. It's purely just you're sending a reply link through the dashboard that gets recorded on the episode. And if you then send that through the integration, it will take the reply with it. So you're able to kind of take the timestamp of the reply that was sent to the patient, but the actual consultation itself, that will be done through Hero Health separately. So that won't necessarily be carried across with the integration directly. So I think when you say the form that the patient completes, if you copy that through the integration or you download it as a PDF, say, then yeah, the form will still be able to be recorded to the record from the dashboard. We have another pricing question. Is onboarding and setup included in the £35 per month fee?
Yes, it is. Yes, that's all included.
Well, thank you. That was from Louise. Thank you, Louise. Okay, have we missed any questions from anybody so far? I think we hopefully have covered them all.
We've missed any. Looks like they're all. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think we have any other questions coming in as yet, but if anyone does have anything, obviously pop it in the chat, let us know. Otherwise, I think we have covered everything. So we will wrap up. We'll stick around until the end just to see if anyone does have any final questions. But I just want to thank everybody for coming. We've had some really, really good input today. So really appreciate everyone's engagement.
One moment. Sorry, Holly. We've got one more question.
One more. Oh, yeah, sorry. Here we go. Yeah, will the feature auto disable if there are no routine appointments available? So what happens is you can still send the link to the patient, but when they go through to book on the interface, if there aren't any appointments available, it will show them that on the interface page. So it might be a case that, you know, when you're attempting to book the appointment from the staff side of things in the dashboard, you know, if you're kind of cautious that you're very busy, you might not have that many appointments available, you may want to double check before you send the patient link, just to avoid disappointing them, because they might be led to think that because they've got the link, that's, you know, an appointment kind of sorted. It might not be the case, because by the time they get to the Hero Health page, there may not be any available. So it is, you know, it's a bit tricky sometimes to kind of anticipate, but it's something that you can hopefully, you know, manage in the clinical system separately. You'll be able to see what appointments are available before you decide to send appointment links to patients. And the booking link will remain active for 15 minutes. So once the patient goes onto the selection, the booking link itself, I'm not actually 100% sure how long it lasts. I don't know if it does actually have a time limit from the time it gets sent from the dashboard. When the patient activates the link to go to the interface, I know that when they select a slot, it's 15 minutes, but I will find out if there is a time limit on the actual link itself. So I'm not 100% sure at the moment. But thank you for the question.
Yes, I think we've got one more question.
Yeah, here we go. So it wouldn't flag to staff when sending the link if there's nothing available. At the moment, no. That is a really, really good point of something that we will hopefully have as part of the development of this feature later on. So we're looking into adding a couple of other things into it. So this is just the very first stages of it. But the more people use it, the more likely we are to kind of add in more developments as we go along. So that will likely be something that's included in the future. Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. It's a great question, Emily. Thank you. Okay. So, any more questions from anybody? Okay. If anyone would like to, feel free to leave the session, because I think from our side of things, we've kind of covered everything. We haven't had any more questions come in as yet, but like I said, I will stick around till the end just in case anybody thinks of anything. But again, thank you so much for joining the webinar. We really appreciate you guys joining and engaging. And if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch, as I said, on our email support or sales@siliconpractice.co.uk. And hopefully we'll speak to you all soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks very much for joining us.